Welcome back to SAMIK Digital Lectures. You are watching SWD 324 Backend Development 1. This is Lecture 2 titled Setting Up Backend Environment. Setting up your backend environment. Today also, I will be your anchor man for the lecture, and I remain your last Samuel. In our last session, we discussed what backend development is and the essential roles it plays. Today, we take our first hands-on step, setting up the tools we need to start coding. I urge you to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell in order to be notified each time we upload new content. Alright, let's look at the learning objectives for today's lecture. By the end of this session, you will be able to understand what local development environment is. You will also identify the tools needed for backend development, and also you will be able to install and configure a local server using the XAMPP or AMP. Then finally, you write and run your first PHP script. And don't worry if this all sounds new. I'll guide you every step of the way. Let's start with a simple question. What is a development environment? It is basically a space on your computer where you write, test, and run your code safely. Think of it as a playground for developers. Yes, you get to build, break, and fix your code before making it public. Yes, that is, your development environment is like a place where you play around with your code. You write your code the way you want it. You look at it, how it's going to function, and before you bring it out to the public, you play around with it anyhow you want it, and then come up with something you want to show forth for people to see. So it's a playground for developers. In our case, we will simulate a web server on your computer, so we can run backend code like PHP without needing to be online. So that is what we'll be doing. Alright, what do we need to set up? To create this environment, we need three main components. 1, the web server. 2, the database. And 3, the scripting language. Now, number 1, which is the web server, like Apache. We'll be using Apache. This is what delivers web pages to browsers. That is this Apache. Now, a web server is like a computer that is hosting web pages. It hosts web pages which users can send requests and retrieve information from the server. Alright, I will open my slideshow now. My slides to show you how to put the steps on how to install your WAMP server. Okay, your XAMPP server rather is Windows or Linux based. Then while the MAMP is for Mac OS, are all in one packages. They include Apache, which is web server, MySQL database, and PHP language. Easy to install and beginner friendly. Let's know the full meaning of XAMPP. XAMPP is a free open source software package that provides a local server environment. It includes X, stands for cross-platform. It is a cross-platform, and then A stands for Apache, which is the web server. M stands for MySQL or MariaDB, that is talking about database. P, the first P there is for PHP, and the other one is for Perl. Perl is also a scripting language that can be used to embed within HTML. Now these are the steps on how to install your XAMPP. You visit apachefriends.org and then download the XAMPP for your OS. Depending on the operating system you have, you choose the version that is suited for your operating system. Then you are going to run an installer and follow the instructions how to install it. Then start Apache and MySQL from the control panel. Here are the vivid steps that you can follow. We have step 1. You can visit this official website www.apachefriends.org/index.html. Then you can click on Windows if you are using Windows. You can click on macOS if you are using Macintosh or Linux. Then step 2, you are going to run an installer. After downloading and locating where the installer is, the installation file is your system, you are going to double click on it to launch it. Windows users, you might get a warning for user account control, UAC, so click on yes to continue. That is what normally pops up. Or you may be required to save it in a different location. Don't hesitate to install it. If it doesn't install in the user account control section, then you can install it in a different location. Now step 3, the setup wizard will appear. Then click next. Select components to install. Recommended, we have Apache, MySQL and PHP. You can select these ones to be installed. Others could be FileZilla or Tomcat. These are optional. You can click next. Once you see these 3 up here selected, you can click next to go on with the installation. Choose the installation folder. Now this is where I was telling you that if it doesn't allow you to install in the other folder, you can choose this default folder C/XAMPP. This is where you can install without any problem. It can work fine. Then you can click next again. Step 4 and 5, they are very simple steps. You may be asked to install bitnami modus. You can uncheck if you are not using that, then click next and then move to step 5. Step 5, you are going to click next to begin the installation. This will take a few minutes to do the installation. Now during installation, you might be seeing some prompt, antivirus prompt, or your Windows Defender may pump up messages. You are going to allow access into all of these features, and then you can continue to install smoothly. Step 6, you are going to launch your XAMPP. After completing the installation, you can click finish. First of all, you check, do you want to start control panel now? Then you check it, then you click finish. Then it's going to launch the XAMPP control automatically. The control panel will be launched automatically. Okay, step 7, how you can start Apache and MySQL. When the control panel is launched, you see on the control panel place where you see the first 2 options. You see Apache, and then you see MySQL before you see the other options like Tomat and so on. Then if you see this, you can click on start. You must start Apache and MySQL before you start working on the XAMPP. So if they turn green, it means that they are running. You might need to allow this through your firewall first. Yeah, even these ones, for it to work, there may be prompts from your Windows security, so you are going to allow them to click allow to allow them to function normal. Okay, now test your installation. This is how you will test your installation. You go to your browser, any browser you are using on your PC. Just type localhost. When you type localhost, it's going to open the home page or the index page of the XAMPP. That is the welcome page of XAMPP. Once you see that displayed on the browser, then you are ready to go. You are sure that it has been installed completely without any issue. Alright, then there are optional tips here. Where you want to save your PHP files, you may navigate to c/XAMPP/htdocs. This is where you are going to save your files. It's a folder that is installed automatically with the XAMPP app on your system. If you go to C, and then that's the location C, that's your hard disk location, then there's that folder known as XAMPP. Then when you open it, you are going to see another folder inside known as htdocs. This is where you are going to save your documents. Each time you are creating a PHP file, you are going to save it in this folder. Create a folder like my project. You can create another folder inside this folder to install to store, so that you can have a control of your files. Then place your .php files inside that folder, then access through the browser. When you are going to access the browser, you must enter the correct location address, that is HTTP. Remember, this HTTP doesn't have S to it, that is, it's not secure. It's not secured yet because you are using it as a local host. You are not on internet, though these files may be displaying like you are on the internet, so don't worry. So you are going to write localhost / my project, which is the folder name / the file name of that PHP file that you created. Then you press enter on the keyboard, and that will be displayed on the screen on your browser. Okay, if you are still confused on how to install, these are some of the sites, the popular YouTube videos that you can watch. You can go through these tutorials to install step by step. This can be helpful. You can copy these links and then watch them on YouTube. Next is how to install the MAMP. The MAMP is almost the same thing as we did in installing the XAMPP. This is where you are going to visit, first of all, the mamp.info. Then you are going to download on your Mac, then install it like any regular app. Then start servers, Apache, MySQL from the MAMP app. We will not be getting into detail on how to install this one because it's almost the same thing as what we did with the XAMPP. Alright, testing your server setup. You can open your browser, go to http://localhost. If you see the XAMPP or MAMP dashboard, the server is running. Now, writing your first PHP script. This is how you are going to write your PHP script. Now, you are going to open a text editor like Visual Studio Code, or if you are using Notepad++ or you are using Sublime, open any of them and then type the following. You are going to type this almost always start with PHP this tag, and then close with this one. So you must start with your okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, you must start with this thing, this tag, and then end with this thing. So what is in the middle here is the body of your code, your PHP code. So you must start with that and end with this question mark tag here. Alright, so echo is an output statement that is going to output this thing. It's going to display this, what is in the code here. It is going to display on the screen. And also you must not forget to end the statement with this semicolon. You must use the semicolon to end your statement. That's how to write PHP codes. Then you are going to save it in your PHP, in your htdocs folder, as I explained earlier. You are going to save this file as index.php. Then go to your browser and search for it to view it. You are going to type localhost /index.php. Then it's going to open it on the browser. You will see your code, hello world. You will see hello world displayed on this thing. Okay, so the next thing is how it works. Your browser will always send a request, and the server will receive that request, and then PHP will process the request, and the output is also shown, just like we explained in our first lecture. That's lecture 1. We explained that the back end, this is the back end in action. You can see that your browser now sends requests from the front end. Your browser is what what we call the front end, and it sends requests. These requests are being processed by the PHPs, and they send the request and receive response from the server. That is the back end in action. Okay, the common errors and troubleshooting. You may have port 80, which means it's busy. You are going to change Apache port. Then you may have PHP file not found. This one has to do with your htdocs folder. Once you see this prompt, you are going to check the file whether it is found in the htdocs or not, or maybe the spelling, you enter the wrong spelling. That's why you see that. And then syntax error, you are going to review your code. Maybe your code contains some syntax error. So for programmers, you don't need to be explained about this. You need to know what we mean by syntax error. The error is from your PHP code. Alright, so that's how you can troubleshoot. Now let's summarize what we are looking at here. Development environment, which is your code playing ground. Then we talk about the XAMPP or MAMP, which provides easy setup. And then we talk about how to write your first PHP script, and that has been done. In our next lecture, we'll be talking about introduction to PHP basics, where we will look at variables, data types, simple outputs, more coding, less theory. That is what we are expecting to do in the next lecture. Alright. Great job setting up your backend environment. Practice by modifying your index page. Like, share, subscribe.